Welcome back. So we just did a closed-eyed meditation, and now I'm going to teach you how to do the open-eyed meditation. So like I was telling you before, you had your word, right? Now, the more time you spend in that space and the more time that you use that word, you're reprogramming your mind, like I told you before. So this is how it's going to work in your waking life, okay? So what the word teaches you, so when you say the word and you take the breath, it's resetting your nervous system. It's recalibrating all the chemicals that are happening in your body so that get you don't release anything. So you're neutral, right? So how is that going to help you in your waking life? By doing this work at night, closed-eyed, going in there as often as you can and as many times as you can, how is that going to help you in the waking life? So what's going to happen is, though, let's just say you're driving to work and somebody cuts you off. Now, most of the time, we all kind of like, what the fuck, you idiot. So what I want you to do now is I want you to say your word and then take a breath. You don't have to close your eyes. Gratitude. And what you're doing is you're recalibrating everything. So now your mind knows, oh, don't go off on a tangent. It said the word because you've been doing the work. There's another one of those King's phrases that you hear in the spiritual community of like, oh, if you do the work. That's what the work means. It's not about, oh, I'm going to set a boundary and cut people off. That's unrealistic because you're always going to come in contact with people who are unhealed, who are narcissistic, who are bullies, who are self-entitled. And the difference between a boundary and a protection is that when you set a protection, it's a self-defense mechanism. And please understand that the people who act and behave this way and think this way are people who have not done the work and they're walking around with these self-defense mechanisms that is protection. It's protecting themselves, probably because of the fact that they've had some shit happen to them and haven't done the work. But you are doing the work, which means you become unfuckwithable. So when you're in a room with a narcissist and they're doing their narcissistic things, you can literally look at them, say the word, take a breath, and you've recalibrated your system. Now, when it first happens, you're not going to remember to do it afterwards. You're probably, because it's just a learned behavior to engage, right? To engage. But the more often that you do these things, the more that you apply them, the more you're going to become detached from situations. Things won't upset you because you've come home to the truth. Oh, you're just an unhealed person and you're on a different level than I am, but I've done the work. So I understand and have learned that by keeping that awareness, right? So because you've learned your own energy, you've learned your own power while you've been doing your closed eyes meditation. The minute that you say that word and you take a breath, you're teaching yourself a new thing. And what happens from these things is that you start to have these aha moments. You start to understand that you are not subjected to your emotions. They're fleeting. They're just supposed to flow. That's it. You're not supposed to take them and hold them and be like, right? Drop it. It's just supposed to flow with you, right? That's how you become unfuckwithable. Because when you're in a room with people that you don't agree with, that whatever, you don't have that same anxiety. That's how you get rid of anxiety. That's how you get rid of post-traumatic stress disorder, because you realize you've done the work. You've sat in with your sacred self and realized that awake, not awake, you don't change. That energy doesn't change. You don't give your power. The minute that somebody makes you feel something, you have given them your power. That is another phrase when they say, take your power back. It's not about cutting people off, because here's the reality of it. If you are setting boundaries, as they call them, and you cut that person off, the universe is just going to keep sending you people until you fucking do the work. Because it's not about cutting people off and not being subjected to those things. It's about being subjected to those things and still be unwavering. Because you know that you are in charge of self. And those are the acts of true self-care. That's what true self-love is. That is what a true boundary is. A boundary is not for other people. A boundary for yourself is realizing that I have done the work and I know that I have the power of whether or not you affect me or not. And my boundary is, it doesn't matter how shady you are. It doesn't matter what you're going through in your life. It doesn't matter whether you're a narcissist, whether you're a bully, whether or not you can't make me feel guilty. You can't make me feel ashamed. You can't make me feel unworthy, because I fucking know my birthright. It didn't require me to do a super fucking hard ritual. Didn't take me to fucking burn sage. I mean, it's not like when you're at work, you can be like, oh, excuse me, I can't deal with this stress. I have to go. I have to go and burn my sage. That's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Do you honestly believe that you would send yourself here in this body and not make sure that you had everything you needed, and it didn't require money, it didn't require a tool, you are the tool. Your body is the portal. And the minute that you start doing this, you are moving your own energy. You are claiming your birthright. That's what that is. It's super simple. Your mind wants to make it complicated. Your mind wants to constantly seek. If you're trying to seek anything outside of this right here, you've fallen into the trick of the ego of making you feel like you are not powerful enough to do it yourself, that somehow you need something. And the sneaky way that looks like is victim. Are you a victim? No, you're not. You're not a victim. You're a perfect divine being. You are the one that guides you here. You are your biggest guardian angel. You are the co-creator in your own story with Source. Now, Source already fucking knows all this shit. That's where it is. You can call it Source, you can call it Spirit, you can call it guardian angels, you can call it guides, you can call it ancestors. But I'm going to tell you, drop all the labels, because the minute you drop all the labels and you are opening a door to anything and everything, there is a wonderness about this. Your body does shit without your fucking requirement of belief. It doesn't need you to believe that when you cut yourself, it's going to heal itself. It just does it. It doesn't require your belief or work to breathe. It's a default system, which means that you and Source were brilliant enough to put everything you need in here, and in your body. You fucking get up every morning and you walk, or you talk, or you breathe. Realize that the moment that you open your eyes, you have already won that day. Everything else is just a fucking perk. When you sleep at night, that's where you are. You're in that space when you close your eyes. You're in the unmanifested. You're there. It's a default system. Again, How brilliant are you that you gave yourself a default? Look, because of the fact that your mind is going to be a freaking walking disaster all day long, stressing about everything, I'm going to make sure that you sleep at night so that you are automatically going into the unmanifested, that you're automatically going into the space. So that you're healing, so that you're recharging, so that you're doing what you need to do so you can face another day. And every single day, I'm going to give you another opportunity to become unfuckwithable. And don't worry, you're going to probably miss the first 40 million of them. That's fine. I already knew that. I knew you were going to be stubborn and not listen or not pay attention. And this is what was going to happen. No. And this is where you become, it's not faith, it's not trusting, it's a knowing. It's knowing that you have always had your back. You always will have your back. And you will send things. You will send, everybody has had the experience of you desperately needing something and then it just comes. You know exactly what you need in the moment that you need it. Sometimes it even prepares for you. Let's just say you get this book. You've had it for 7 years. You never read it. Somebody gave it to you and said, oh, you should check this out. 7 years later, you just have this impulse. Oh, I'm going to read that book. And it masterly changes your life. It already knew you weren't going to read it for 7 years. Your spirit already knew. It's okay. It's just there when the time is right. That's what true love is. It's giving yourself and other people acceptance of exactly what they are in that moment. We're all come here to do the same thing. We're all here to help each other. Even the narcissist, even the bully, even the people that you don't like. Because the negative emotions are your biggest teachers. It's easy to be happy and peaceful when you're in a happy and peaceful place, but that's not going to help you when you're in chaos. It's not going to help you when you're feeling sad. It's not going to help you when you're feeling depressed. I truly, truly hope that this helps you. Like I said, the more often you do this, the more it's going to change your life. A natural progression is going to happen. Not only will you start doing it at night, but you'll find yourself doing it in the morning. You'll find yourself doing it throughout the day, and you'll find that your stress levels are a little bit. You'll find yourself laughing at people who are totally losing their mind and drinking tea with the fucking Mad Hatter. It will be like, that's it. And now I'm going to do some more videos on how you can physically clear your energy. So you won't need sage or anything, but just some different kind of exercises and stretches that you can do that will do it for you too. It's super, super, super simple, and it's super practical. And these acts are what true self-love and self-care are. It's not about taking a bath. It's not about buying yourself something. It's not about taking a break. If you're taking a bath and you're not doing the work, closed-eyed meditation or open-eyed meditation, or doing, then it's useless. It's meaningless. It's not going to do anything for you. When you're taking boundaries and you're cutting people off, please understand there is a step that you're supposed to be taking. And the step is to get to the point when you're in a room with a narcissist, they don't affect you. That doesn't change how you feel about yourself, and it doesn't change, and you don't have any negative feelings about them. You're just in acceptance on the fact that you're not doing the work. That's fine. Because you can't go through life going, I'm just going to cut off every fucking narcissist. You're not dealing with your trauma. You're not healing yourself. You're not showing yourself self-love at all. It's a protection. It's a self-protection mechanism. And again, you've gone into the ego because it is somehow you've conditioned yourself to believe that somehow you're a victim and that you don't have the power to be in a room like that. You have the power and the ability to be in any space. And how does this benefit other people? Because the minute that you don't have the reaction that they want, it shifts the energy, not just in you, but in everybody else. It's what they call holding space. So when you hear these spiritual, hold space, you're holding your space. When you hold your space, people can't feed off of you. People can't affect you. And they'll either go off and find somebody who will, but you're giving the opportunity for space to grow, for space to expand. You're giving an expression of love. And any true expression of love is never wrong. It's never a mistake. Now you're going to say to me, because I have this, well, I've done these work, I've done these boundaries, and I still have people who lie and cheat on me and everything else. How is that your problem? If you gave a true expression of love, it will not matter what somebody does with that expression of love that you gave it. Because it doesn't change who you are, and it doesn't change how you're going to give it. It's unshakable. It's unfuckwithable. And if these things are happening, then you have to ask yourself, am I giving true expressions of love? Because if you're giving a true unconditional love, an expression of love, you won't feel anything when somebody takes it and mistreats it or doesn't respect it. Because you're like, I gave it to you. What you choose to do with it is yours. Now you can choose to leave that person, because many people are like, well, I'm leaving. I'm like, you can. I'm like, or you can take responsibility for yourself and have that person actually and sit in the uncomfortability. Being in uncomfortable situations is your biggest catapult to get in your whole life. Oh, you cheated on me? That I don't see how that's my problem. I was true to myself. I gave a true expression of love. Now, I'm not saying you have to stay with that person. You will but here's the thing. The difference is that when you do this work, there won't be any confusion. There won't be this whole big drama session. You'll just know exactly what to do. You won't feel guilty about it. You won't feel bad about it. You won't engage in an argument with that person. You might even just laugh in that person's face and be like, okay. I wish you happiness and love on your journey. Because in all actuality, when you mistreat an expression of love, that's not on you. That's somebody else's journey. That's somebody else's problem. That's somebody else's job to do the work. And you have to think of yourself. If that person people can only accept expressions of love to their capability. And again, that's not your lane. Your lane isn't to worry about or to be affected by people who can't accept it. So if you're in these situations where you are being lied to, where you are being cheated to, understand that these people aren't lying and cheating to you. They are completely lying and cheating to yourself. And as long as you were giving the true expression of love with no expectations on what they do with it, you become a space of unfuckwithable. Because no one can make you feel anything, because you have done the work and have claimed your power, your energy. And the power of love is the most powerful energy there is. The power of true expressions of love. That's where your wealth comes in. That's where your health comes in. That's when all that other good stuff comes in. But if you're giving an expression of love and saying, hey, I'm going to treat you this way, you have to treat me this way back. Nobody has to do anything. It's just a level of spirituality. It's just a level of energy. And if you can get to the point where your energy level is consistent and nothing can affect you, then it won't matter who you come in contact with. No matter what level they are on. That's true freedom. That's true unfuckwithability. That's a true boundary. Now, do these exercises, do these things. And here's the thing. If you're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Wishy-washy, then your connection is going to be wishy-washy, and you're going to be subjected to all the things that you feel, to the outside world. If that's what you want, by all means, go for it. If you don't, I truly, truly hope that this helps you. I don't speak out of this. I speak out of this because it's experience. This is how I cured my own PTSD. This is how I became to the point where my fucking husband could come in tomorrow and say, hey, I've been cheating on you for the last 3 years. And I could look at him and say, that's not my problem. I guess you have some things to work on. I don't have anything to work on. That's when you can have a true conversation in a level of like, okay, so you cheated on me. What made you do that? What was going on in your own self where you felt like you couldn't accept what I was giving you? I enjoy having uncomfortable conversations with people. Because that's how you hold people truly accountable. It's not about saying, oh, if you don't behave this certain way, then you don't get my love. When the Dalai Lama walks into a room, he's not looking at you whether you're a narcissist, whether you're a bully, whether you're a rapist, whether you're a murderer, whether you're an addict. You're all the same. He's unfuckwithable. He just walks around with that smile on his face and you're like, shit, I want to fucking some of that. That is the natural high. And you can have it all the time. Can have it all the time. You will find yourself laughing at things when in chaotic things, or you will have these moments where you'll have these impulses, and it will be a natural progression. It's not like it's going to happen overnight. I mean, otherwise we would have been given a night to do it. I love you. I hope this helps, little dove. And just be. That's true being. That's true consciousness. It's not doing. It's simple, and it can change your life. It can get you your whole life. Namaste.